Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 15 of our Comp 1 class. Sorry for the delay on this video, as I'm sure you all are experiencing as well. It's quite the busy time of year right now. Also, I have inexplicably experienced some issues with the microphone that I normally use to record these videos. So the sound quality on this might be a little bit different. I think I've managed to get it to something that is not absolutely horrible to listen to. So hopefully that's not too much of an issue for anyone. Anyways, this week we are going to get started on creating writing project 4. Let me give you this tip before I press on here, and I'm going to probably repeat this tip later on in the video as well. But don't get too hung up on the artistic or technical aspects of your project. You are more so being graded on the overall effectiveness of your composition of the project itself. You are not really being graded on artistic capability. Now, that's not to say, if you know that you are, horrible at drawing, you can't draw to save your life, then, you should probably pick a project that does not require you to draw anything. But, that being said, if you're trying out a new technology for the first time, or, you're experimenting with something a little bit, that is fine. I'm not expecting you to be a great artist. For task 15.1, you have some readings to do in your textbook. First of all, I'd like you to take a look at chapter 58, specifically the section on designing text and the section on using visuals and incorporating sound. The information contained in those, I think, will be a big help to you in composing writing project 4. I'd also like you to take a look at the section on rhetorical situations. Now, this is something that I have had you read before, so you don't necessarily need to reread all of these chapters. I would just kind of skim them over. Writing Project 4 does have you are explicitly engaging with your rhetorical situation and thinking about rhetorical choices. So if you aren't super familiar with what rhetorical situation is, or if you need a refresher, I would definitely take a look at these chapters. Task 15.2 is basically just a list of various tools that may be useful to you in creating writing project 4. So you'll see that they're all labeled. If you want to create a web page, a podcast, a poster or advertisement, a photo montage, and so on, I have a bunch of tools here for you that you may find useful. Now, I have not actually used most of these myself, so I probably cannot help you actually use these tools, but I wanted to make sure that I provided you with some different things for you to play around with, to be able to create the type of project that you are envisioning. In task 15.3, I want you to think about your rhetorical situation. You're going to respond to these 3 prompts. First, if you haven't already, reviewed the material in the rhetorical situations portion of your textbook and pay particular attention to the thinking about questions at the end of each chapter. Next, I'd like you to look online or elsewhere for examples of the genre that you wish to compose. So if you are creating a brochure, look up some examples of brochures. If you are creating a video presentation, look up some video presentations. If you're making a podcast, listen to a couple of different episodes of podcasts. And you're going to spend some time kind of thinking about what makes that genre tick. What are the genre expectations or its key features? For example, what kind of style, voice, or tone seems to be commonly used in this genre? What are the design features of the genre? And what do readers, viewers, or listeners seem to expect from the genre? A big part of this project is making sure that you are understanding and predicting your audience's genre expectations and crafting your project in a way that's going to effectively meet your audience. Finally, you're going to jot down some notes about your purpose, audience, genre, stance, and media and design. Write out ideas about how each element will influence your creation. In task 15.4, you're going to create a plan for your remix. You have a couple of options here. You do not have to do both. You can pick one or the other. Your first option is to create a mock-up. When you make a mock-up, you basically sketch out your ideas for your project, not really worrying about the artistic quality. A mock-up is especially useful if you're planning a still project, something that doesn't include movement or sound. You can use the attached mock-up grid if you would like to sketch out aspects of your project. That refers to this right here. We have a template for you to use. Your second option is to create a storyboard. A storyboard lets you write out a script for the narration or other sound, and then you make notes or sketches for any images as well. The storyboard is useful if you're planning a project that involves sound, movement, voiceover, etc. And you can also find an example of a storyboard by clicking this document right here. For task 15.5, you're going to make your Wednesday discussion board post. I would like you to summarize for your peers your current ideas and plans for your remix. What do you plan to create? What's the purpose, audience, stance, and medium? Medium, if you're not really familiar with that term, I find it helpful to think of it in terms of art. Different artists use different mediums. So if you are a painter, paint is your medium. If you are a poet, well, then poetry or words are your medium. If you are a sculptor, then clay is your medium. So medium is just whatever you are using to get your message across. Next, I want you to post your mock-up or storyboard, and it's completely okay if it's a pretty rough draft. Finally, I'd like you to list 2 to 3 questions or concerns you'd like your peers' feedback on in relation to your project. In task 15.6, you're going to begin creating your remix and rhetorical reflection. Don't forget that your remix isn't going to be graded on the artistic merit of your work. Instead, the whole of your work, both parts 1 and 2, will be evaluated based on the English 1100 grading rubric. So, worry less about ensuring your piece is artistically or technically perfect, and more about ensuring that your message is clear and easily understood by your readers, viewers, or listeners. If you run into struggles, find creative solutions for the obstacles that you encounter. If you get stuck, reach out to your peers or to me for advice. I'm not expecting you to finish your draft of your project this week, but it is a good idea to get a sizable chunk of it done. That way you are saving yourself some time and effort next week. Task 15.7 is going to be your Friday discussion board post. For this one, I'd like you to read through your classmates' posts and write responses to at least 2 of them. You can write in general about what you like about their ideas or what suggestions you have. You can also respond to the questions they raised in their Wednesday posts. And then finally, you're going to submit your work. For this week, I'd like you to submit all the writing that you completed for tasks 15.3 and 15.4. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to let me know, and I will do my best to help you out.